Hi guys, and welcome to another fake unboxing. I say fake because when I buy things like this, like a Rolex on a used market, I always make sure to open the package in front of the courier in case something goes wrong. Luckily with this one, it hasn't gone wrong. The seller I got it from is Zeit Auction from Germany, and I really have to commend them from the first communication with them, the price they agreed to meet with me halfway, and also the shipping, which was extra fast. As soon as Chrono24 confirmed the payment, within an hour the watch was sent because I asked them if they can send it as soon as possible so I can have it ready for my trip. So very cool. Also, you know, if you're worried about buying a used Rolex, they issued a certificate of authenticity with the serial number of the watch and which model it is. They also issued this, which is the watch register, where it says it's not registered as stolen or lost. So really a pleasant experience that gives you like a peace of mind. Very cool. Okay, now back to the watch in question. It's a Rolex. It's a third Rolex I got, and I decided to get it because I've been on a weight loss journey that started in February when I was 93 kilos. Now it's June and I'm 62 kilos, so more than 30% of my weight has been lost. If I'm brave enough, I might put before and after picture just so you see the transformation. So this is a bit of a reward for me, and also having more family members, 3 of us, you know, 2 kids, 1 wife. Having 3 Rolex watches means they won't have to fight one day when I die about who's gonna get the Omega, who's gonna get the Jaeger LeCoultre, and who's gonna get the Rolex. This way, each one of them has a Rolex, and then they can like distribute the other watches as they like. So with all that out of the way, let's see what I got. Try to comment in the comment section to see what it is, and we're gonna open the box. So, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! And here it is, the Rolex Explorer II Polar dial 16570. This is a bit of a unicorn watch for me because it kept slipping away. This was the first Rolex I actually fell in love with because it was so different than other Rolex watches. That was back in the day when these were not popular. These were trading for about $3,000 back then, but for me, $500 budget was way too much, so I couldn't get one. As I started saving, flipping watches, accumulating funds and everything, when I reached the level of 3,000, these have been hyped up and they went way out of the budget again. That's when I got the Explorer that still had a pretty good price, and I've been loving this thing, especially since I switched it to a strap. Now, with the recent price decrease, or the bubble bursting as they like to call it, these have become slightly more attainable again, so I reached out to this seller. They were probably the cheapest when it comes to European sellers because I'm in the EU, so getting it outside of EU is out of the question because of the very unique way of my country calculating taxes and import duties. And like I said, we met halfway with the price. I'm more than satisfied, and here it is. The condition is excellent. It's got the bezel, as you can see, has pretty clear brushing. There are no dings. It's not polished. Even the bevels on the lugs, as you can see, are pretty well defined. The sides are well and nicely polished. And even by the depth of these, as you can see, because this is a variant with the drilled lugs, you can actually see that it hasn't been polished, at least not much, because the spring bars are still pretty deep inside. It comes on the being from the year 2000. This is the variant with the solid end links rather than hollow end links, but the center links are still hollow, which, as I mentioned in my Explorer review, is like the best variant of the bracelet because it's not as flimsy as those really all hollow ones, but also not as massive as the ones found on modern Rolex watches like my Submariner. I love my Submariner, but it's really a chunk of steel that you feel on your wrist, whereas this one, together with my Explorer, just disappear. With these bracelets, Rolex kind of found the perfect balance between, you know, heft and comfort. The clasp is stamped, but just like on my Explorer, very high quality when it comes to stamped clasps, and I do like it. I already sized the watch for my wrist because, like I said, this is just the fake unboxing. I always loved the Polar, like I said, because it's so different, and I love it. The new one, I prefer the new one when it comes to the hands because they're massive. You know that one of my pet peeves is when the hand doesn't reach the marker, which in this case it doesn't, but I can forgive it given the beauty of the overall watch. So the new one is slightly better designed in some details, but it's just too big. I have a 6.5-inch wrist. I tried it on. It's a behemoth. This one wears slightly different. The 5-digit Rolexes, Explorer, Submariner, anything, they're just amazing. They're like the perfect size for me. Okay, so let's take off the Explorer, put on the Explorer II, and see how it looks on my 6.5-inch wrist. There we go. And as you can see, it's pretty much perfect. The Submariner, the modern Submariner, is as big as I would dare go when it comes to Rolex. This one hugs the wrist beautifully. It's light. I have a feeling that when I wear this every day, it's simply gonna disappear, unlike the Submariner. Very cool and very nice. We're gonna do a lume shot and probably compare all three since we have them here when it comes to the lume shot. And that's probably gonna be it when it comes to this unboxing. I will be doing a full review, but a couple more details. The 16570 has been in production between 1989 and 2011 with few iterations and changes. Most changes were regarding lume, which was first tritium, then luminova, then super luminova. This one has super luminova as it has Swiss made here. When you have that minus 25, that means tritium, and when you have only Swiss, that means luminova. This is super luminova, and because it doesn't have the Richat engraved with Rolex, this is the variant with the older 3185 movement, which is an excellent movement, but it's known for the jerky GMT hand as you move the hour hand. This is a true GMT, traveler's GMT, meaning that you move the hour hand, not the GMT hand. So if you pull it to the first click and move the hour hand, as you can see, the GMT hand kind of jumps. This is something they fixed on the 3186. But this is not something that bothers me because I won't be changing the time zone as much. Now, being a Rolex, and one of the reasons why I fell in love with Rolex is because to me, they're just like G-Shock. They simply work. This is 20 years old almost. Never been serviced because my AD checked it and they said it doesn't need a service for at least another 3 years. It keeps perfect time, getting about +2 seconds a day. Submariner, ever since I got it, has kept perfect time, so it's now almost a year old. With Rolex, everything works the way it's designed to, and they're very, very cool. I mean, yesterday they're hyped up watches, they're look at me type of watches, they're used for flexing, but underneath all that, which is, I believe, temporary, they're just really, really well made watches. That's why I love them, because they're no nonsense, no frills. If you're gonna wear it as a watch, it's one of the best mechanical watches you can buy, period. Anyway, so that's it when it comes to this. So let's do the lume shot, compare all three, and that's gonna be it, because I'm starting to ramble as I can't wait to shut off the camera, put this on my wrist and go. So let's charge the watches and we're gonna be right back. Okay, so all three have been charged. So it's time to turn off the lights. And there you go. As you can see, they all glow pretty well. It seems to me like the Explorer II is slightly better than the Explorer, and I have to say it's slightly brighter than the new Submariner, having the Super Luminova. And my eyes being accustomed to Seiko watches, I kind of do prefer the green one. It's just more natural to me, even though the icy blue cool of the new Rolex watches is very nice. Let's turn back on the light, because this way you can also see the size comparison. Let me just zoom out. So this one fits perfectly between these two when it comes to the size, and also adding a GMT complication. I believe this is it when it comes to Rolex watches and me. Daytona, I'm not really that much of a fan. I would rather have a Zenith El Primero. And when it comes to other watches, maybe a day date or something like that, but that's gonna be when I get ready to retire, because to me that's more like for a more serious and slightly older gentleman than I am. Anyways, that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.